Great and wonderful Wednesday, and it's great to see you guys today. Today is Hump Day, and it's Motivation Day. That's what today's all about, is me getting on here and motivating you guys to go out and be the best men that you can possibly be, right? So I got a topic today, and I'm pretty excited about it because as any good topic, it speaks to me before it speaks to you, right? So this is how to be honest with yourself and 3 steps to become somebody you want to be honest with. Let's be honest about that for a second, right? 3 steps to become somebody you want to be honest with. That's a big deal, guys. That's a big deal. And so here it is, man. I got some notes on my phone. So if you see me looking down, that's what it is. All right. But too many people today lie to themselves. They lie to themselves, right? They look in the mirror and they see what everybody else has told them, see what everybody else has thought of them and all the things they've been told about themselves, right? And they get all jumbled and confused and they don't really know who they are, right? Like they get confused about who you really are, right? And so what do? We go on Facebook and we take what superhero are you or what truck are you personality test quizzes. Like, what the hell, man? Like, I get it, but what the hell, right? Like, why are we even doing this? I'll tell you why. It's because we as a society are desperate for somebody to tell us something different than we already know about ourselves. Desperate for somebody to tell you something different than what deep down you already know about yourself. Ouch, right? Like that's a big thing. That's a big step. So our societal problem is not that we don't know how to evaluate ourselves. All right? Our societal problem is that we're too scared to actually go fucking do it, right? Like we're too scared to actually look in the mirror and tell ourselves the blunt, honest truth about who we are and what's going on in our life. And so we look for all these other ways to distract ourselves and to prove that we're okay. And we work for the weekend and we escape from our normal life. Like, I get it. I get working for Friday. Okay. Like, I get why you guys love Friday, because Friday comes and you know the next 2 days you're going to forget about who you really are. Right. And that's why you hate Monday, is because Monday comes around and you realize, oh, it's back to the grind, back to something I hate, back to being that person I don't want to be anymore, right? And we get frustrated and we get confused and we get depressed and we get anxious. And you may not call it depression. You may call it frustration. You may call it, I hate my job. I hate my life. It's depression, okay? Because the root problem is this, is that you have a blueprint in your mind about what you should be, like who you want to see in the mirror, and then what you actually see in the mirror, right? Like those two things are different. Like who you want to see and what you actually see are two different things. And so there's a disconnect. There is a gap in between where you are and where you want to be, right? That's it. That is the definition of depression, is realizing that there's a definition that you hold in your mind, right? Your picture that you hold in your mind, okay, of who you are meant to be. And when you look in the mirror, you self-evaluate, you're honest with yourself, right? You realize you're not even close to that. Okay. And that's depression. Okay. That's depression. Okay. So here's 3 steps. Okay. 3 things that we can do to overcome that. Really, really simple, guys. Really, really simple. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything in my notes. Okay. Yeah. So maybe you've never really been fully honest with yourself. Maybe you've never taken that self-evaluation of who you are. Maybe you're walking around and you're frustrated and you have anxiety and you're depressed and you're mad all the time. You don't really know why. Hey, most of the time it's because there's something inside of you that you're not fulfilling. When you look in the mirror, there's something that you're ashamed of because you're not where you want to be. Right? So 3 steps. Okay. And step number 1, right? A few things you can change to get yourself to your blueprint. Okay. So number 1, the blame game. And this is where 90% of you guys probably are at somewhere in your life, right? Is the blame game. Like, I'm going to blame my situation. I'm going to blame other people. I'm going to blame my job. I'm going to blame my lack of money. I'm going to blame my lack of resources. I'm going to blame something in my past, something in my childhood. I'm going to blame all these other things for my lack of achieving my blueprint, right? Or, well, and that doesn't get you anywhere. Okay, first off, because if all those things were to change, you are still the problem. Like, the situation, the money, the other people aren't the problem. You're the problem. You're the one that isn't at your blueprint, right? Like, you got to nut up and take a self accountability and self responsibility here. You can't just like, oh, it's okay, like it's other people. No, it's you, right? It's blame yourself, because that is the only person you can blame is yourself, right? But that sucks, because now we have to admit that we're at fault. Now that we have to admit that we are wrong, and we have to take responsibility for ourselves, and we actually have to do something about it. And we get a little guilty, and we get a little overwhelmed, and we might not know what the next step is to take. And that's why there's a second step number 2. Okay. And step number 2 is one of 2 options: either change your blueprint right now, or get the hell over it and accept it. Those are your only 2 options, right? You have this picture in your head of what you're supposed to be like, what your life is supposed to be like. And you have 2 options: either change it, right? Like right now, just figure it out. Like, this is what I thought I wanted, but I actually want this, right? Like, just change it right now, or accept it and go after it. That's it. Okay. So identify your blueprint. Identify where you want to be, what your goal is. What does life look like in perfection for you, right? Like, identify that and then accept it. Say, that is my goal. That is my vision. Okay. And then how do we get there? That's step number 3. How the hell do we get there? Okay. And this is the hardest one for most people. Change yourself. Change yourself. Nobody can do it for you. Nobody can give you a magic pill or a magic drink or anything like that and change you. Like, you have to change you. You're the only person that can change you. You got to take responsibility, take accountability, realize you're the only one who can fucking change you and actually do the things, right? Figure out where you wanted to be. That's step 2. Figure out where you are. That's this step, right? Change your life. Figure out where you are. Figure out what you need to do to get from point A to point B, right? Okay. So figure out what you need to do from get from point A to point B. And this is called the gap. Okay. The gap. How are we going to bridge this gap? Okay. Write down all of the things. Okay. So if you need to work out or quit your job or get a better job or stop being an asshole to your wife or be a better dad, or I don't know what you need to do, right? Eat better, like stop going to McDonald's every night. Like, I don't know what it is that you need to do. Okay. For me, I knew the steps for me. And if you want to know the steps that I took, like, I'll give them to you. Right. But like, I can't tell you your steps. So figure out your gap and then write down all the things that are going to get you from point A to point B. Like, what are the things that you're doing that you're not supposed to be doing according to your blueprint? And what are the things that you're not doing that you're supposed to be doing, or that you're doing that you're not supposed to be doing, and that you're not doing that you're supposed to be doing, however that works out to get to your blueprint, right? Like, that's what you need to write down. Okay. And then you need to prioritize, make a list. Okay. Like, step 1, work out. Step 2, stop going to McDonald's. Step 3, say a nice thing to my wife every day. Step 4, take 5 minutes out of my day for my kids. Step 5, like spend a couple minutes in prayer. Like, I don't know what it is like you need to do, but I'm sure there's things, right? So you write down all the things, you prioritize it, and then you say, you know what? I can't tackle a whole football team by myself. Okay, I can't do all the things all at once, all by myself, right? So I'm going to take this one step at a time, because I might not be able to tackle a whole football team, but I can hit one quarterback at a time. right? And then I can go after the next guy. Then I can go after the next guy. And every time I get one down, I can get up and go after the next guy, right? Like we can do that. So start with your step one, okay? Start with your step one, tackle it, get it figured out, get it. Maybe that takes a week. Maybe it takes 3 days. Maybe it takes 2 weeks. Once you get it figured out, once you get it done, get back up and tackle the next one. And maybe that takes a week. Maybe that takes 2 weeks. All right, everybody's going to be different, and every step's going to be different. Okay, but tackle it, figure it out, make it a habit, and then move on to the next one. Guys, this is simple. This is simple. Okay, so how do you get from where you are to where you want to be? It's easy, guys. It's easy. I'll take that back. It's not easy. It's simple. Sometimes it can be drastically hard. Okay, but it is drastically simple. So a couple things I got for you for free, though. Check in the comments. I left a link to my blog that covers this, goes into this a little bit more in depth, okay? So you can actually see my blog, all right? And then I want you to interact with this video a little bit. So tell me what you related to most in this video. Was it the blueprint? Was it self-evaluation? Was it the 3 steps to get from where you are to where you need to be? Or did you not relate at all? It was valuable, but it was just a reminder for what you already knew. I don't know. Like, that could be it too. But this is Motivational Wednesdays, guys. This is every Wednesday. I am a motivational speaker. I'm going to come to you and I'm going to give you topics that I actually talk about professionally. Okay. So I love this part. This is my bread and butter. This is what gets me motivated, like, is to motivate other people. So hopefully you're motivated. Hopefully you found enjoyment out of this. And I'll see you tomorrow for my actual physical fitness training video that I'm going to put up here. All right. So we'll talk to you guys later. Adios. Have a great day.